Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're gonna be hopping in Brian Brosdahl's boat. We're gonna be chasing walleyes. And what's cool about this one is we're gonna be getting them on plastics and on a jig that you don't normally see very often for walleyes. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
There we go. You know, it's been a good year. Walleyes have been biting really well, and it's still kind of a minnow bite, jig and minnow. And the reason being, the water's been cool. We've had Canadian smoke as well as other smoke. And on the hot days, it keeps it cooler. Might take it in the lungs a little bit, but what I've noticed is just more active fish. A little bit scattered at times, but just more active, and I love it. This is turning out to be one of the best years I've had. Lots and lots of fish. A lot of big ones, a lot of slot fish, lots of eater fish, and you can fish them any way you want to. I love using underspins or jigs with spinners. They hit it so hard. There's a beautiful walleye right there. Look at that thing. Love it. Look at he's got it right there. I might be able to just swing him up. Yeah. Oh yeah, love it. Another cookie cutter 20-incher. Thanks for biting again. Let me get that jig out. Boy, that Northland Smeltinator with the underspin really works well with Eye-Candy Grub, but these fish are beautiful. Love it. Super aggressive. We'll let this one go. All right, there. Thanks for biting. Go eat some insects. All right, love it. So you can see here, I've got a little loop knot above it so it can pivot. That loop knot's a little bit big, but you know, I was in a hurry. So, but look at that, how that works. And I might add a little scent, sometimes I don't, but it's been really good. And I have just fluorocarbon to braid, and I have it on a Legend X by St. Croix. Fantastic. Let's get another one. That's fun, fun, fun.
All right, now Bro is gonna talk about some of the advantages of using plastics when you're fishing for walleyes.
Got a little cotton coming out of the cottonwood trees here and likes to get on your line. A little maintenance as you go, but it looks like snow on the water, and it's cotton.
Snowing in June and the fish are biting.
Yes, I love it. The cottonwood reminds me of winter. You know, makes me want to reach for an ice auger. I know, don't talk about winter yet. I love it. I miss winter. I like how cool it is. But this has been a cool summer, and keeping the fish kind of in that jig bite, but what I'm using works year round. You could use it in the spring to fall, river, lake.
I remember, I think it was maybe last year, it was like mid-late fall, and you're using something similar, like the underspin.
Oh, absolutely. What I like about the underspin, and actually using like this Eye-Candy plastic, which is really tough, you don't have to be gentle in your cast like you're throwing a leech or you're throwing a minnow. You can zing it out there. And so you can cast farther, you can snap jig it if you want, you can pull it through weeds, over rocks, and you don't lose any bait because it's artificials. That's my favorite thing about it.
Now, safe to say, Bro is super dialed in. He's on a really good plastics bite, so I'm gonna pass it off to him again. He's gonna show off another walleye that ate his Eye-Candy grub.
Well, there's a nice one, look at that one. Beautiful fish. Boy, I love spinner blades. I'll Bassmaster this walleye in here. All right, come here, buddy. We appreciate you, we appreciate you. All right, look at that. The Smeltinator's awesome. Deep V's, Smeltinators with that underspin, fantastic. Let me not drop it here. Look at that. That is the deal. And this one just showed up to prove it. What a beautiful fish. I'm gonna get her back. Close. There we go. The thing is with the Spro swivel here, this really keeps flashing. And then look at that that face on that thing. It's got eyes. That Eye-Candy Grub is super soft, and I don't know, they just come up and grab it. That is perfect. We're on the edge of the crayfish molting time. The big bug hatches, you know, the mayflies, and this symbolizes everything in the water from top to bottom. So let's catch another one.
Next up, Bro is gonna talk about technology, and he's also gonna talk about the Smeltinator versus the Deep V when it comes to the underspin.
What I like about this target lock is I can just lock it and it'll stay there no matter where the motor goes. So when I hit spot lock now, I don't have to steer nothing. Everything's just automatic on both. You can see a bunch of fish up ahead. Now remember, they don't all bite. I only need one to bite at a time. And as the nose of the boat's moving around, the target lock's adjusting and keeping an eye on where the fish are. There we go. So that I could just jig and jig and jig. I love it. Oh, look at that one. Ooh, that might be one of the northern Minnesota golden candy right there. Oh yeah. Look at that. What a gorgeous fish. Just chowed it. Okay, we're gonna do it like they do on the ocean. Tuna boat. Down the hatch it went. I love it. Hey, that's a sign of a good presentation when they chow it like that. So, you know, I love the deep V's, you know, and I do love the Smeltinators. Which one do I like the best? I like them both the best. If there's a lot of pike around, I'll throw the deep V's. They're a little bit less expensive, but hey buddy, you have that back there a little ways. There, just let them shake it out. I don't need any fish today, so I'm gonna let you go. You have a great day. Bye-bye. All right, awesome. That's fun. Ugh. Boom.
Awesome. Now Brian is gonna kind of explain some of the food factors that are happening right now for walleyes, some of the bug movements, just some of the stuff that the walleyes are eating right now and why it affects where they're setting up and how they're feeding. And he's also gonna talk about a few other plastic profiles that he likes.
Tell you what, I just threw on a deep V just to see Smeltinator versus the deep V. One cast with the deep V caught it also. So, you know, this is that transitional time when the coronamids or, you know, bloodworms turn into midge flies, and people call them fish flies, but the fish get really aggressive and start schooling up. Before that, on the minnow bite, they're coming off the shoreline, but during the midge flies, they really kind of get the fish going and schooled up. But then right before the mayflies, they start targeting crayfish, and then of course the mayflies just feed them up to help them survive the summer heat. There he is, ha ha ha. And he loved the deep V. That's the walleye colored one. Here, I'll swing him up gently. Thank you for not going crazy on me. You can see here, oh, we got a little goose action going there. You can see it right here. Look at that. That's a great color. And there's Mr. Walleye to show for it. Awesome. Here you go, buddy. You have a great day. Yes, here it is. I'll show it to you again. That's the deep V. Neat thing is you get them in by 2 in a pack. So when you pick them up, you got an extra one. And you can see I got the Eye-Candy Grub. Now I'll switch over to the paddle tail just around that mayfly hatch time, and then I'll use that until basically late summer. And then I switch back to a fluke style, which is the minnow, and the minnow I'll use that till fall. But this works all the time because as a transitional bait with that grub tail and that spinner head, you could use them under a bob or with a leech.
Well, that's about all we got for you in this one. Special thanks to Bro for sharing a bunch of super good information. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something, make sure to hit that little red subscribe button down below because we have a lot more awesome content coming in the future. And until then, we will see you in the next one.